I have done my bachelor's of engineering from BIT Mishra Ranchi. My branch in engineering was mechanical engineering. I graduated from college in 2020. Post that, I had joined Axis Bank in their business intelligence unit. So in Axis Bank, I was working as a business analyst in the cross-sell analytics and lending department. So within that department, I was working for the small business banking. In small business banking, the financial lending product which were comprised of two major categories: term loan and working capital, which were catering the financial needs of MSME segments of our country. And post that, after 2.5 years, I have joined TransFinanciable in their data science and insights team. So for last 2 years and 6 or 7 months, I have been working in TransFinanciable in their data science and insights team. Here in TransFinanciable, I have been working on a variety of projects and reports. I would say the analytical reports in which I am catering to some of the esteemed financial clients like SBI and also some other important institutes who take the financial lending data of our country to make decisions for their day-to-day activities, be it financial lending or investing in the financial markets. But I remember that I started preparing for the interview immediately right after submitting my application, because I was somewhat confident in that I will get a call for the interview. And I still remember that I got an interview call on 30th of Jan, and my interview was on the 4th of 30th of December, and my interview was on the 4th of Jan of 2025. So, but my preparation for interview started right immediately after my application was submitted. I was going through my profile. I was preparing for various stuffs. Every line I was picking up and going to connect all the threads or connecting every dot on my resume, that why I had done this, and connecting it back to my essays and looking at my entire profile, the JDs, the projects which I have mentioned, going through the details of them, revising them. Post that, you guys were also helping me out during my interview. You had taken two mock interviews; those were very helpful. And I still remember post my interview when I was slightly not very happy, because in my mocks, what I was expecting, what I had given the performance in mocks, I was slightly bit not sure that I was not able to replicate my performance in mocks what I had given in the interview. I was bit thinking about the things which were slightly off the track, but still it was a 50 minutes interview, 45 to 50 minutes interview. There were number of things which I felt I could have done handle that better, but there were also fair good points during my interview. So at the end, if I look back at the entire journey, I feel that apart from my interview, it was very smooth, although it was very demanding, the entire process. But for the interview part, I felt that it was something that I could have done much better. But at the end, I got the admit, so I think that I have done the things right. On that day, I still remember that in the morning I got up and I was preparing, going through my entire notes, seeing the basic HR questions as well as the basic profile questions which I had kept in my small diary. So I used to keep a small diary with me, in which I used to write down all the questions which have been there asked in the ISB interview, or what all feedbacks you have given me, or the Mayank, the other interviewer who has helped me in the mock interview, has given me the key points or the notes which I was keeping at. So I got up in the morning and revised them. Also, I had prepared through Copilot and ChatGPT my on-the-spot essays. So what practice I was doing that uh, for 3-4 days just before my interview. So I used to take up on-the-spot essays, any topic for the on-the-spot essay. I used to type it on my MS Word within a time frame of 10 minutes, and then I used to put it in the Copilot or the Chat GPT, and I used to ask them that how would you rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, and then I used to analyze it through the AI, that how am I writing on the spot essays. And I was also keeping in my mind that those on the spot essays should show the basic ethics and the righteous part, that what I felt are required in the basic organizational level questions were there, and also the honesty part. So how would I tackle a situation? How would I help a one of my mentor colleague who is stuck in a problem? Such kind of questions. So I was preparing for them as well. Then I had gone to the interview uh, the hotel on which the interview was scheduled for around, it was, I guess, 2 hours or 3 hours back. I had reached the spot. 2:30 was my interview time. I had reached the spot by 12 o'clock. And when I entered the place, there was only one candidate sitting. So I thought that I have arrived early. He was sitting there, and just the lunch break has taken place. So all the LMs who were taking the interview, they had all gone for the lunch. So we were waiting in the hotel room, for around 45 minutes or something, around 45 to 50 minutes. Post that, we have been asked that if we want to give on the spot essays right now, or if we can wait for the slot to start. So my slot for on the spot essay was 1:30, and they had asked me this around 1 o'clock, that if you I want to give my on the spot essay early or not. So but at that time only two candidates were there, so I asked for more time, that if possible I would write at the permissible time slot only. So I asked that whenever the time slot start, I will write that. Post that around 1:30, now when the lunch break has was over, the LMs were back and the interview process has again started. But for all the new candidates, on the spot essays were first prioritized, or it was first supposed to happen before the interview. The on the spot essays will happen before the interview. So we had all gone to give on the spot essays, and even in between on the spot essay, if any new interviewer is coming up, he or she was also asked to join in between. So we had started with the on the spot essay. Then there was a timer on the laptop. It was through a site. We had given it, and post that, we were sitting in that sitting area. And then for my case, an LM has approached and she has asked for my name, and I had gone into the room. So first I had gone into the room. There were two panelists in my panel. One was male and one was female. They started my interview. So the first, they asked me the basic hi, hello, greeting was there, and they asked me that if I had my lunch or not. So I answered yes, I had my brunch. So post that, my interview has started. So it started with the basic formal intro, and then the second question I still remember. It was more about my job profile. So the question was, what do my current organization, that is Transunionsable, do? So I started to explain what does the credit bureau Transunionsable do. So I explained it for 1.5 minutes. Post that, the interviewer says that what do you do at Transunionsable? So I started to explain my job role at Transunionsable, and then the interview was going in that direction. But in my job profile explanation, now I had mentioned a number of technical things that is related to my job profile. So the other panelist, she was not comfortable with the technical things. So she highlighted that you are going into too much technicalities. So at that time, I took a moment to rethink and stop myself from using technical jargons. And I was trying to keep it as generic as possible, so that she can also be a part, or she can also understand my job profile, that what I am doing. So post that, I just took that step, and then it was more around my job profile for first 10 to 15 minutes. It was all around my job profile. There were in between questions. There was one question I still remember. It was related to my essay, but I answered it slightly differently, although I realized it later that in my essay I had mentioned that from my engineering why I had switched to analytics as a career. But he asked, the panelist asked me that what made you switch from core engineering to the analytics field in a BFSI domain. So I explained him from the basics why I felt that mechanical engineering is not something that I would want to pursue going ahead in my life. So I gave a very long answer to that, which I felt that I could have shortened it down and kept it in parallel with my essay. So that was a thing which I still remember. And then he started to ask the normal GK questions, or I would say the current affairs question, more around the sector. There were a number of questions like what is the GDP of our country, what is the credit growth rate in our country, which is related to my job profile. So for all these, I was remembering the estimated number that it is within a range of this to this, but I was not remembering the exact number. So I would suggest that even if you do not know the exact number, if you have any ballpark estimate or any range, you should definitely mention that. Because in my interview, there were a number of questions. I felt that I was not knowing the exact answer of that, but I had given a fair shot to that, and I had tried to solve them using my problem solving, or I would say the basic common sense that what it should be, and I had given a fair shot. So, for example, in my essays, there was a mention that I had worked on a project with the Ministry of Corporate Affairs. So they were of the understanding that I had the entire understanding of MCA data, or what I would say the accountings data, which I am currently going through the pre-term courses. Then I realized that these are the accounting concepts are there. So they were expecting that I am knowing all those things. So they were asking what is the free capital or free cash flow. Yeah, exact question was there. What is the free cash flow? I was not knowing that. So I told them that I do not know this. Then he asked that you have mentioned this on your essay that you had worked on the MCA data. Then I explained the entire project and what I had done in that project. So then he realized that I have used the MCA data to derive certain insights, but I may not be someone who is expert or knowing the entire balance sheet or income statement. So he asked me that it is okay that if you do not want to give a fair shot at, but if you are knowing EBITDA or EBIT anything, then you can think it off. So I was knowing those two things. So I tried to give it a shot, but then again the interviewer was kind enough to explain me that this is that. So this was something that I also felt that it was something which has not, I would say, gone in a way that I would have liked to do that. Post that, there were a few questions which were asked regarding the financial stability study. The RBI has published just in the last week of December that country's financial stability index is falling, or it is in a dangerous zone. So he asked me whether I had read that report or what is my viewpoint on those reports. So I was not knowing about that exact report, but I explained that why is it important that regulators keep highlighting such things, because they are keeping our economy safe. And I explained an example of the MFI loan crisis which has hit Andhra Pradesh in 2014. So I think he liked that also, because post that there were no question asked on this one, and he was feeling somewhat satisfied with that answer. And post that there were a number of questions, the usual questions: what all values you will add to the class, and what are you thinking that there was also one moment when they were grilling me regarding that I already have a business background in my family. Then why I'm not starting immediately with that only? Why I am coming to the college to learn a theoretical course like MBA? Why I am not approaching my father to learn the business fundamentals from him? So I explained him, although my father is a professional businessman and he's a well-seasoned player who has grown his business over the years, but I need a proper structured understanding of the MBA course, the peer-to-peer learning which I will be getting in the college, and the outstanding facility or the facility as well as the faculty of ISB, which will be the adding value to me. So these were certain things that I had defended in my interview, and I was very sure that why I wanted to go to ISB. and why I wanted to pursue an MBA. What was the dream? So regarding my long-term dream of starting my own MSME enterprise to help create financial lending products to help out MSME lenders of our country, I also defended that. I highlighted the challenges because they were saying that you can start your organization immediately now. Just leave your job and you can start. Why do you need an MBA? Because MBA is a theoretical course. So there was also significant time spent around these two questions. Post that, I felt that at the later end of my interview, the interview was slightly lighter. Initially, it was more heavier, I would say, because everything was being taken directly hands on, and they were coming after everything. That why do you want to do this? Why do you? Later on, they were also taking it lightly, and at the end, I remember still after 50 minutes, it got over. So it was a very grilling interview. I felt that it was one of my biggest interview of my life. I had given multiple job interviews as well, but no one has lasted that long of 50 minutes. And it was very grilling, I would say. Not grilling in a sense, it was conversational in nature, but they were checking everything. Asked me, they told me that what is something that you want to ask, or is there any question you want to ask? So I had a few questions in my mind, but in one of our mock interviews, I had asked two questions. So I got a feedback that if there is a genuine question, then only you should ask, and the question should show that that what is your interest and you have done the proper research of the school. So there was a genuine question which I wanted to ask, which was very curious for me. So regarding my interest in MSME, there is there are two major institute the research studies or the innovation hubs in ISB, the Bharti Public Policy Institute and the Munjal Institute of Global Manufacturing. So when I was exploring the entire ISB research studies, or I would say the entire college of ISB, there were two research studies of MSMEs. One was of MSMEs in Andhra Pradesh. There was entire research study done by the professors of ISB, and one was MSMEs research studies of MSMEs in Telangana. Again, that was done in consecutive years by the same professor. So that was something I was very fascinated to see, that an entire study has been done on the MSME, highlighting the challenges what they are facing in the state of Andhra as well as in Telangana. What all things are being done by the government to help them, what are the various challenges, and what all steps are being taken. What is their digital incorporation in their work portfolio? How is the digital technology helping them out? So I was very fascinated about that. So in my application preparation phase, I was of the opinion that I wanted to know these. So in the interview, I had asked that to the interviewers, that there are a number of institutes, whether during the course of curriculum I have to actively pursue that as a part of my curriculum, or should I independently reach out to the professors working in those innovation centers to take me also in those research studies. So this was my first question, which I had asked, and they answered it that these institute they take part in the course curriculum also. These the professors from these, there were many courses, the additional ones, the electives ones, or you can also approach the professors of these innovation hubs. Apart from that, they asked me that if I had more questions or not. I had said that no, I do not have any other question to ask that. To which they had replied that you have only one question to ask. You can ask anything as well, but I did not have any other question to ask to them. So I said, no, I have only one question. Preppie for my interview preparation. So when I had first reached you out, you had suggested me that I should take one mock interview. And if I feel that another mock interview can add value in my confidence before the D-Day, then I should go for it. So my first mock interview was being done by an ISB LM only. So when I was giving that interview, there were a number of questions. I would say 2-3 questions were there, which I had not prepared for, or they were like something that I felt that I was not ready for. It was not something. These were the basic questions but I was not prepared for them. So I found value in that, and the feedbacks what he has given me at an post an interview of 30 minutes, or I guess 30 to 40 minutes interview was there, and was that the 10 to 15 minutes was there to give the feedback. The feedbacks which he has given, I really like those feedbacks, because they were some those feedbacks were something I feel that these are the missing bricks in my picture, and I felt that I should go for the second interview. That's why I had asked, and you had only taken my second mock interview. And in the second mock interview, I had prepared for all those pointers which were given in the first one. So I still remember the first question, and it was being asked in my interview, final interview as well. This is a very basic question, but I did not know. It has never come up to me through my online researches, that what should the class expect from you? What all values you will be adding to the class of ISB? So this was the question being asked in my final interview as well. I had answered it, but on this question as well, they had asked me that. So I had told them that my problem solving skills and my analytical part of me being someone from a business background, my entire family is involved in the business. I have worked in a bank who has catered out to the MSME, the same MSME business which my father runs. I have created financial products for them, and in my financial bureau, I have been helping out banks as well as those MSME lenders. So I told them that through these three organizational experiences, I have that unique experience. But they upfront said that in college campus, you will find many candidates with similar background. So post that, I feel if I would not have been already prepared for this question, so I answered it. I had given other points as well. I had prepared 3 to 4 reasons for which I felt that I will be a value add to the class of ISB. If I would have been asked this question directly in my interview and I had not prepared for it well, then I would have felt that would not have been that prepared for this question. So there were around 2, 3 questions. I can say that with 100% of surety, they were repeated as it is. And through your guidance, I was prepared for that. So I would highly recommend you guys for the mock interview. And it was really helpful for me. That's why I am that confident here and sitting there saying that if someone is looking for mock interview preparation, you guys are the best.